In a world that increasingly values instant gratification and short-term rewards, it can be easy to lose sight of the long-term vision. We are constantly bombarded with distractions and temptations that pull us away from what we know is important. Yet, true success often requires something much deeper: sacrifice and the ability to stay focused on long-term goals. Achieving something meaningful and lasting takes more than just a good idea or fleeting enthusiasm. It requires a commitment to prioritize your long-term aspirations over immediate pleasures and the ability to push through the discomfort that comes with delayed rewards. Sacrifice is not just about giving up something, it's about understanding the deeper value of what you're working toward. It's about choosing a future benefit over a present indulgence, knowing that the effort you put in now will yield far greater rewards down the road. In many ways, sacrifice is a fundamental part of the process of achieving anything significant. Whether it's sacrificing time, comfort, or convenience, each step you take toward your long-term goals is a conscious decision to forgo something temporary in favor of something permanent. One of the most challenging aspects of sacrifice is learning how to manage your time effectively. In the age of social media, constant notifications, and a world that rewards immediate responses, time has become one of the most valuable resources we have. Yet it is often squandered on things that don't contribute to our long-term success. Whether it's scrolling through social media, binge-watching shows, or indulging in other distractions, these moments of fleeting enjoyment can take away precious hours from the hard work that's required to reach meaningful goals. Sacrificing those small distractions, often in favor of more focused work, might feel difficult at first, but over time you'll start to see the payoff. The more you focus on your long-term goals, the clearer it becomes that every minute spent working toward your objectives is an investment in your future. Sacrifice also involves recognizing the need to say no. In a society that constantly tells us to be busy and involved in everything, it can feel overwhelming to turn down opportunities or invitations. But the truth is, saying yes to everything means saying no to your bigger goals. Every commitment you make takes time and energy, and if that time and energy aren't aligned with your long-term aspirations, they're being spent on things that don't bring you closer to your dreams. Learning to prioritize your long-term goals requires the ability to assess what is truly important and be willing to let go of less important distractions. It's about making conscious decisions, where each no allows you to say a more powerful yes to your vision. The key to making sacrifices work is understanding the value of your long-term goals. When you clearly understand why you're sacrificing in the first place, whether it's for a career you're passionate about, financial freedom, better health, or personal growth, the sacrifices become easier to make. They no longer feel like a burden, but instead become an essential part of the journey. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind, but when you keep the bigger picture in mind, the sacrifices don't seem as costly. In fact, they often become motivating factors in their own right. Sacrificing short-term pleasures also helps to build resilience and discipline. Every time you choose to stick to your plan, even when it would be easier to give in to temptation, you're strengthening your ability to persevere. This discipline is what will carry you through difficult times when it feels like progress is slow, or when obstacles appear that seem insurmountable. It's through these moments of sacrifice that you develop the mental toughness required to stay on track. Success doesn't come easily, and you will face challenges that make you question your decisions. But the discipline to focus on your long-term goals, even when things aren't going well, is what keeps you moving forward. Focus is equally as important as sacrifice when it comes to achieving long-term goals. Focus isn't just about what you're working on, it's about how you work on it. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, and maintaining the ability to concentrate on your long-term vision is increasingly difficult. But the ability to focus is what will allow you to stay on the path when it seems like everything is pulling you in a different direction. It means dedicating time and energy to things that bring you closer to your goals, and not letting the distractions of daily life take precedence over your larger vision. There will inevitably be times when you feel like giving up, or when the temptation to abandon your long-term goals for something easier seems overwhelming. However, focusing on the long-term picture and understanding that every choice you make contributes to your future success can help you push through those moments of doubt. It's easy to think that progress should come quickly, but the reality is that most meaningful achievements take time. In those moments, reminding yourself of the long-term rewards that await can help you stay on course. Another key aspect of focusing on long-term goals is breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Long-term goals can seem intimidating and the distance between where you are now and where you want to be may seem insurmountable. By breaking these goals down into smaller, actionable tasks, you create a clearer path toward your end result. These smaller goals become the milestones that keep you motivated and focused, reminding you that even the smallest steps are progress toward your larger aspirations. Focusing on long-term goals means that you are intentionally choosing to take a slower, more deliberate path. Instant success and quick results may seem appealing, but they often don't last. Real, lasting achievement comes from consistent effort over time, from putting in the hard work day after day, and from making sacrifices that might not feel good in the moment but pay off in the long run. By focusing on your long-term vision and remaining committed to it, you're building a future that is worth every sacrifice made along the way. Sacrifice and focus on long-term goals aren't just about giving up immediate pleasures, they're about shaping a future that is more fulfilling, meaningful, and aligned with your deepest values. The more you practice this mindset, the easier it becomes to navigate challenges, to stay disciplined, and to keep your eyes on the prize. Consistency is often seen as the secret ingredient to success, but what many fail to realize is that consistency does far more than simply produce results. It shapes character, transforming you into a person capable of achieving your goals and maintaining your integrity over time. The act of showing up day in and day out, regardless of circumstances, is a powerful tool for personal growth. Consistency requires a level of discipline and self-control that molds your mindset and strengthens your willpower. As you commit to regular actions, no matter how small, you begin to develop the qualities that define who you are as a person. When you think about the people you admire most, whether they're athletes, artists, or business leaders, what often stands out is not just their talent or intelligence, but their consistency. They show up when they don't feel like it, and they keep pushing forward, even when the results aren't immediately visible. The more you practice consistency in your life, the more it becomes ingrained in your character. It teaches you how to be reliable, how to persevere in the face of difficulty, and how to stay committed to long-term goals despite short-term challenges. One of the key ways consistency shapes character is by building resilience. When you commit to a process, even when it's tough, you learn how to bounce back from failure. In life, failure is inevitable, but it's not the failure itself that defines you, it's how you respond to it. If you allow setbacks to derail your progress or cause you to give up, you'll never learn the strength it takes to get back on track. But if you show up every day, even when things don't go as planned, you develop the ability to overcome adversity. Consistency builds a mental toughness that allows you to face challenges head-on, learn from your mistakes, and keep going. This resilience is not only essential for achieving success, but it also plays a crucial role in who you become as a person. Consistency also fosters self-discipline, which is a cornerstone of good character. Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and behaviors in the face of temptations and distractions. It's easy to make excuses or put things off, especially when the tasks at hand aren't particularly exciting. But consistency teaches you to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It helps you prioritize the important over the easy, the long term over the short term. The more you practice consistency, the more you develop the inner strength to make decisions that align with your long-term values, rather than giving in to momentary desires or temptations. In this way, consistency reinforces the foundation of self-control, which directly impacts your ability to reach your goals and live a life of integrity. In addition to resilience and self-discipline, consistency shapes your work ethic. People often think of work ethic as something innate, but the truth is that it is a habit that can be cultivated. The more consistently you work towards your goals, the stronger your work ethic becomes. By dedicating yourself to a routine or set of actions, even when motivation is low, you train yourself to push through discomfort and stay committed. This work ethic then becomes an automatic part of who you are, influencing all areas of your life. Whether it's in your career, personal relationships, or health, consistency teaches you to put in the effort, day after day, without needing external validation or immediate rewards. It develops the mindset that success is not a result of random luck, but of consistent effort over time. Character is also shaped by consistency in the way you treat others. It's easy to be kind and considerate when things are going well, but what about when you're stressed, tired, or facing personal challenges? Consistency in your behavior, especially during tough times, reveals who you truly are. By consistently showing up as a person of integrity, kindness, and respect, regardless of the circumstances, you reinforce your character. People notice when you act with consistency, and it builds trust. In relationships, whether personal or professional, being someone others can count on is one of the most important ways consistency shapes your character. It's the small, everyday actions that show you are reliable and steadfast, and these actions over time define how others see you and how you see yourself. Moreover, consistency teaches patience. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, learning to wait for results is a valuable skill. It's tempting to seek quick fixes, shortcuts, or easy solutions, but these often don't lead to lasting success. Consistency teaches you to trust the process and to understand that great things take time. Whether you're building a business, working toward a fitness goal, or developing a skill, the results come through steady, ongoing effort. The more you practice this patience, the more you learn to appreciate the journey, rather than just focusing on the destination. You begin to understand that growth is a slow, incremental process, and that each small step forward is progress. The path to success is rarely a single grand action. More often, it's a series of small, seemingly insignificant steps that, when compounded over time, lead to extraordinary results. Many people get discouraged because they don't see immediate changes or dramatic transformations from their daily efforts. But what they fail to realize is that success is the product of consistency, and consistency is built through those small, everyday actions. The truth is, big results aren't usually the outcome of one massive effort. They're the result of many small actions taken consistently over time. Take a moment to think about any successful person you admire, whether they're an entrepreneur, an athlete, or a writer. What sets them apart from others is not their ability to take huge leaps, but their capacity to take small, consistent steps toward their goals, even when they don't see immediate results. They understand that the small actions they take each day build momentum, and that momentum leads to bigger results in the future. This is the power of small actions they accumulate. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that only big, bold moves will lead to success. But the reality is that small actions, repeated over time, can lead to far greater results than one-time bursts of effort. If you want to get fit, it's not about doing one intense workout and expecting to see dramatic changes the next day. It's about showing up every day, even if it's just for a short, moderate workout. If you want to learn a new skill, it's not about spending an entire weekend cramming for hours. It's about dedicating a little bit of time each day to practicing and improving. These small actions may not seem like much in the moment, but they add up. When you focus on small actions, you're shifting your mindset from instant gratification to long-term growth. Instead of expecting immediate, large-scale changes, you start to appreciate the incremental progress you make. This shift is crucial because it allows you to build habits that are sustainable. Instead of getting discouraged by the slow pace of progress, you begin to understand that success doesn't happen in leaps and bounds. It's a steady, gradual process where each small step is building the foundation for something greater. This principle is true in every area of life. Take, for example, the process of writing a book. Many aspiring authors dream of completing a novel, but the task can seem so daunting that they procrastinate or give up before they even start. However, a book is not written in one sitting. It's written word by word, paragraph by paragraph, day by day. The most successful authors are those who sit down and write consistently, even if it's just a few hundred words each day. These small daily contributions eventually add up to an entire book. It's not about writing 10,000 words in one day, it's about building the habit of writing consistently, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Small actions also give us the opportunity to build momentum. When you commit to taking small steps every day, those steps start to create a positive feedback loop. You start to gain confidence from your progress, and that confidence fuels you to continue moving forward. Over time, this momentum becomes self-sustaining. What seemed difficult or overwhelming at the start now feels more manageable because you've made progress, even if it's just a little bit every day. This is where many people make the mistake of underestimating the power of small actions. They look for shortcuts to fast success, neglecting the value of the process. But when you understand that it's the accumulation of small efforts that lead to big results, you start to realize that every little action matters. Each small effort you make, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, is a building block in your journey toward your larger goal. Moreover, Small actions build resilience. They teach you patience and perseverance because you learn to keep going even when the results aren't immediate. You begin to understand that success is not about waiting for the perfect moment to take action, but about taking action consistently, regardless of the circumstances. The small steps you take every day build your strength, determination, and character. They prepare you for the challenges that lie ahead and teach you how to deal with setbacks. In addition, small actions give you the chance to course correct along the way. When you take small steps, it's easier to assess your progress and make adjustments when necessary. If you're working on a project and something isn't working, it's much easier to tweak a small part of it, rather than trying to make drastic changes to a large, completed effort. Small actions allow you to stay flexible and adaptable, which is crucial for long-term success. Small actions lead to big results because they build a sense of discipline. Discipline is not something that is developed in a single moment of intense effort. It's cultivated through the regular, everyday decisions you make to stay on track. By committing to small actions, you develop the discipline to stay focused and keep working toward your goals, even when it's difficult or the rewards aren't immediately obvious. Big results don't happen by accident. They are the direct result of small, consistent actions taken over time. If you're willing to commit to the process, make those small actions a regular part of your routine, and stay patient, the results will follow. It's the accumulation of small steps, done consistently, that leads to lasting success. The journey toward achieving your goals is never a straight line. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. There will be times when the road feels impossibly tough, when the weight of the effort seems overwhelming, and when you question if it's worth continuing at all. During these challenging times, it's easy to want to quit, to give up on the progress you've made, or to abandon your ambitions altogether. But it's precisely during these moments, when everything feels hard, that your true strength and growth are forged. Pushing through when things get tough is not just about achieving the goal, it's about building resilience, discipline, and the mindset to keep moving forward no matter what. One of the most important lessons in any pursuit is learning how to push through when it's hard. Life is full of difficult moments, and the reality is that success is not about avoiding those moments, but about how you handle them when they arise. There will always be obstacles, whether they are external challenges like a tough economy, a setback in a project, or personal struggles like a loss of motivation or self-doubt. However, what sets successful people apart from those who fall short is their ability to persist, to keep going even when they don't feel like it, when it seems easier to quit. Pushing through when it's hard requires a mindset shift. Instead of seeing difficulty as a signal to stop or give up, it's important to view it as an opportunity to grow stronger. Struggling through adversity builds resilience. It teaches you how to handle pressure, how to work through frustration, and how to stay focused even when everything feels like it's falling apart. Every time you push through a challenge, you build a stronger foundation for the next obstacle you will inevitably face. It's not about avoiding difficulty, but about becoming better at handling it. There are moments when you'll feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of work in front of you. The vision you once had for your future may seem distant, and the steps toward your goal may seem small and insignificant. During these times, it's crucial to remember that progress isn't always linear. There will be peaks and valleys, and it's normal to feel like you're not moving as quickly as you want. The key is to stay focused on the process, to keep putting in the effort, even when the end result isn't immediately visible. Consistent small steps add up over time, and even when you feel like you're stuck or making little progress, you are still moving forward. The discomfort that comes from pushing through hard moments is a powerful teacher. It forces you to confront your limitations, to face your fears, and to dig deep within yourself to find the strength you didn't know you had. During difficult times, you may be tempted to take shortcuts or look for an easy way out. But true growth comes from doing the hard work, from showing up even when you'd rather be doing something else. Pushing through when it's hard means doing what needs to be done, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary for your growth and success. This ability to push through is especially critical when setbacks occur. Everyone encounters failures, whether it's a business venture that doesn't work out, a project that falls apart, or a personal goal that feels out of reach. The natural instinct in these moments is to retreat, to step back and avoid the discomfort of failure. But those who succeed don't let setbacks define them, they use them as lessons. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and try again. Each failure is a stepping stone to success if you have the perseverance to push through and keep going. When you're in the midst of a challenge, it can feel isolating. You may think you're the only one struggling, but the truth is that everyone faces difficulties. Even the most successful people have encountered countless obstacles along their journey. The difference is that they chose to push through. They didn't give up in the face of hardship, they used it to fuel their determination to keep moving forward. Success is not about avoiding failure or hardship. It's about using it to your advantage and finding ways to move forward, no matter how hard it gets. Pushing through also means embracing discomfort. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, to do things that are familiar and safe. But true growth happens when you challenge yourself, when you push past your limitations, and when you keep moving forward, even when you're uncomfortable. This discomfort is often a sign that you're on the right path, that you're stretching beyond what you thought was possible. The more you push through difficult moments, the more comfortable you become with discomfort, and the stronger you become as a result. It's important to recognize that pushing through when things are hard doesn't mean you won't experience moments of doubt or frustration. These feelings are natural. What matters is how you respond to them. Do you let them dictate your actions, or do you use them as fuel to keep going? The ability to push through when it's hard comes from recognizing that these tough moments are part of the journey, not the end of it. It's about continuing to move forward. Even when you don't have all the answers, even when the path ahead is unclear, and even when it feels like you're not making any progress. By continuing to put one foot in front of the other, you're creating the momentum that will carry you through to the other side. The ability to push through when it's hard is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up too soon. It's about building the strength to endure, to stay focused, and to keep going even when the going gets tough. The more you practice pushing through, the more capable you become of handling whatever life throws your way. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember the hard times are not obstacles to your success, they are the very things that will make your success meaningful and worth it. Success is rarely a product of one great effort. It's the culmination of countless small, consistent actions repeated day after day. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because it isn't glamorous. It's not something that makes headlines or grabs attention on social media. But if you look at any success story, whether in business, sports, personal development, or relationships, you'll find a common thread: consistency. It's easy to be motivated when things are fresh and exciting, but the true power lies in being able to push forward even when the novelty fades and the work becomes repetitive or difficult. Motivation is powerful. It's what gets you started, what ignites that initial spark and drives you to take action. However, motivation alone is not enough to see things through to the end. It can fade as quickly as it arrives, leaving you struggling to find the energy to keep going. This is where consistency comes in. While motivation is fleeting, consistency is a steadfast companion. It's about showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not, and doing the work, even when it's hard, dull, or frustrating. Consistency means doing what you know needs to be done, even when you're not feeling particularly inspired. Think about any long-term goal, whether it's getting in shape, starting a business, learning a new skill, or writing a book. These goals aren't achieved by one burst of effort, they're reached through steady, consistent progress. If you work out for a week but then stop, you won't see the results. If you only work on your business when you feel like it, you won't grow. But if you make the decision to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, you will see results. It's those small, consistent actions that compound over time, creating significant transformation. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's easy to look at others who have reached their goals and think they've done something extraordinary. What you may not see is the thousands of hours, the countless days, and the uncelebrated efforts they invested behind the scenes. They didn't achieve success with one big effort, they did it by showing up when it was hard, when they were tired, when they doubted themselves. The difference between success and failure often lies in the ability to keep going when things are tough, when motivation has faded, and when everything in you wants to quit. That's when consistency becomes crucial. The road to success is filled with obstacles and challenges, and on many days the effort may feel overwhelming. It's during these times that consistency is tested. You might not always feel like doing the work, or you might feel like the goal is too far away. However, It's in those moments when staying consistent makes the biggest difference. When things feel tough, it's the small actions taken every day that gradually build momentum. In those moments of struggle, the decision to keep going is what builds character. Consistency is what pushes you through the difficult days, helps you overcome self-doubt, and keeps you moving forward, even when progress seems slow. To stay consistent, you have to be willing to make sacrifices. You'll need to say no to distractions, to short-term pleasures, and to things that take you away from your long-term goals. Consistency is not about giving in to every whim or desire. It's about focusing on what truly matters and committing to doing the work day in and day out. It's about understanding that your future self will thank you for the discipline you show today. The sacrifices might not be easy, and there will be times when it feels uncomfortable, but they are necessary to stay on course. Consistency means prioritizing long-term success over instant gratification. Motivation is a powerful force. It's the initial burst of energy that gets you moving, the excitement that pushes you to begin a project, start a new habit, or take on a challenge. It feels good when you're inspired, when everything aligns and you feel like nothing can stand in your way. However, motivation is not reliable. It ebbs and flows, often disappearing as quickly as it arrives. It is a fleeting feeling, dependent on external circumstances or moods. This is where consistency becomes the true driving force for success. While motivation may give you the initial push, consistency is what keeps you going long after the enthusiasm fades. Consistency is not glamorous. It is the quiet, steady effort made day after day, whether you feel like it or not. It's not always exciting, and it certainly doesn't make for a good social media post. But it's this steady, dependable commitment that leads to growth, progress, and eventually success. The key difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is not necessarily talent or ability, it's the ability to stay consistent. When motivation fades, it is the habit of consistency that helps you maintain your course. The most successful people don't rely on motivation. They have learned to build their lives around consistency, making it a non-negotiable part of their routine. They've understood that consistency is the backbone of achievement. Whether it's a matter of writing a few pages every day to finish a book, going to the gym each morning to build strength, or dedicating time every week to learning something new, consistency is what allows those small actions to compound into big results. Each action, no matter how small it seems in the moment, is a step forward. These small, repeated actions eventually lead to significant outcomes, and it is consistency that guarantees that these steps will continue, even when the initial motivation is long gone. When you rely on motivation, you can't predict when it will appear or how long it will last. Some days you'll feel energized and ready to tackle the world, but on other days you'll feel drained, uninspired, or simply indifferent. On those days, if you wait for motivation to strike, you'll find yourself stuck. You might skip your workout, put off the project, or delay the task you know you should be working on. But when you rely on consistency, you show up regardless of how you feel. You do the work even when the spark of motivation has dimmed. Over time, this creates a rhythm, a habit, and the progress you might not even notice in the day-to-day grind. The process of building consistency takes time, and it's not always easy. There will be days when the work seems unimportant or when results are hard to see, but it's precisely these times when consistency becomes even more critical. You may not notice the immediate impact of your actions, but as you continue, the results will slowly begin to reveal themselves. Whether you're learning a new skill, building a business, or improving your health, consistency compounds, and over time you'll look back and realize how far you've come. For consistency to work, it needs to become a habit. And to turn something into a habit, you must commit to it even when it doesn't feel rewarding in the moment. The goal isn't to wait for the perfect mood or the perfect conditions. It's to decide that you will do something every day, no matter how small, to move toward your goal. This might mean waking up an hour earlier to write, setting aside a few minutes to read each day, or committing to exercise for just 15 minutes. The goal is not perfection, but progress, consistent daily effort that adds up over time. There will be times when you question whether it's all worth it. The temptation to quit may feel overwhelming. You might feel as though you're not seeing results quickly enough, or that the effort you're putting in is not producing the rewards you anticipated. But this is where the power of consistency comes in. It's in those moments when everything feels hard that consistency is tested and ultimately proves its worth. It's in the hard days, the days when nothing seems to go right, that your discipline and commitment to consistency will determine whether you keep moving forward or give up. The secret to staying consistent is to focus on the process, not the outcome. You might not always see the results immediately, but that's okay. If you trust the process and keep showing up, the results will come. The key is to take things one day at a time, to push forward even when progress seems slow, and to commit to showing up again tomorrow, no matter what. It's this mindset, this focus on the long-term process instead of short-term results, that allows consistency to become a tool for achieving success. Consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the right feelings. It's about showing up day after day with the resolve to keep moving forward no matter what.